عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله كثيرا أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Upon a time, the Sahaba radiallahu anhu noticed that, or they mentioned that when Wahi was coming down to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you could hear a ringing or a buzzing sound, similar to, or a humming sound, similar to that of a bee. So they mentioned that, that's how they assimilated it to a bee. And Prophet was hearing that. It could be heard around, he used to hear around his facial area. And he's, constant humming sound. And once this was happening, once this finished, they sat there for a while. Some mentioned that they were sitting there even for a day, and they came back and still in that sitting. The Prophet ﷺ wasn't saying anything. Then after some time, he turned towards the Qibla, he raised his hands and he made a dua. Allahumma zidna wa la tanqusna wa akrimna wa la tuhinna wa a'tina wa la tahrimna wa athirna wa la tu'thir alayna warda anna. He made this dua. Allahumma zidna wa la tanqusna. Allah, give us more. Grant us more sustenance. Wa la tanqusna, do not take away from us. Wa akrimna wa la tuhinna, and grant us honor. Grant us nobility. Wa la tuhinna, do not, give us ihana means to put someone down. Do not put us down in this world. Do not cause us to be despised, etc. And then wa'atina wala, and give us more, and give us wa'atina, to grant us, to give us. Zidna means to increase, and a'atina means to grant. So Allah Ta'ala is out there, he asks Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to grant him more. Wa'atina wala tahrimna, do not forget about us, do not leave us in a state that we don't have anything. وَآثِرْنَا وَلَا تُؤْثِرْ عَلَيْنَا, and grant us your preference. وَارْضَ عَنَّا, and be happy with us. He made this dua, and after he made this dua, he said to the Sahaba radiallahu anhum that because buzzing was happening, Wahi was coming down. What Wahi did specifically come down? He said that verily 10 verses have been revealed to me. Those who those who are part of this verse, those who establish these qualities, دخل الجنة will enter Jannah. Those who establish these qualities or part of these qualities will enter Jannah. What are these 10 verses? These are the first 10 verses of Surah Mu'minun. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Allah Ta'ala opens the first verse. He mentions that verily the believers will be successful or are successful, have attained success. And this verse, the way the Arabic works is going to follow on and link to every other verse after that. That verily every believer will be successful. Who are the successful believers? Allah mentions the next verse, الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Those, when it comes to their salat, khashi'un, they have khushu, they have sincere determination. They don't get disturbed in salat, they have their full utmost concentration in salat. In salat there are two things, there's tawadu' and there's khushu. Tawadu is to put yourself down with humility, and that comes with body. When you put yourself down physically, you look down at the ground, you put, your body posture is different. You put yourself in front of Allah, and in a way you have humility. Body language means a lot. You can show a lot of attitude, you can show disgust with body language, you can show so much. So tawadu' is putting yourself down physically, the body. So in salah, you have a certain posture in front of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. You put yourself down to have that humility. And that's tawadu'. And then Allah mentioned in this verse, khashi'un, they have sincere determination. Khushu' is synonymous with tawadu'. You do the same thing, you put yourself down. Allah Ta'ala mentions, "Man tawada'a lillahi rafa'ahu Allah," those who put themselves down, Allah will raise their ranks. So khushu is with your body as well, but with your heart even more so. So have that sincere determination in salah. Your heart is fully content within the salah. That's khushu, sincere determination. Those two qualities have to be in salah. That's the first quality Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions. That الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. When it comes to their salah, they have khushu. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. And in fact, Prophet ﷺ mentioned about the previous verse, the Sahaba asked about moving around in salah and so on, and even at one point the Sahaba, what they used to do, they used to look up in salah. And when this verse came out, they started to look down where they used to do sajda. Well, the sajda places, they started looking down there after this verse came out, because of khushu, because of the tawadu. And then moving around as well, Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu mentions that, we know from Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu, he never used to move left or right or anything, he was very still in salah. And just as the Sahaba were, never used to look around, absolute stillness in salah, looking down. And Prophet ﷺ mentions that iltifat is ikhtilas, moving around in salah is ikhtilas in salah. Shaitan disturbs, it's a misappropriation. It's not part of salah, it shouldn't be like that. The second quality, those who will be successful, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. Lagw in Arabic is anything vain, something that has no haqq in it, in actions and speech and everything. That's what we call the word love. So they stay away from vain talk. Love also refers to foul speech. Sahaba radiallahu anhum, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about them, Allah mentions وَإِذَا مَرُّوا بِاللَّغْوِ مَرُّوا كِرَامًا. Same word. When they walk past love, that kind of vain talk, that kind of waste of time, something that has no haqq in it, no value. Even swearing. وَإِذَا مَرُّوا بِاللَّغْوِ مَرُّوا كِرَامًا. How did they used to walk? They used to walk with dignity and honor. They never used to say the same back. When you walk past that kind of company, imagine someone is swearing, all that kind of loud obnoxiousness at you as well sometimes, you would want to, naturally as a human being, you think, how dare they say so to me, how dare they swear at me. It's the human being's quality to say something back. Or Sahaba, what they're showing us, or the believers, what they're showing, what is the quality of the believer, when they walk past this, they walk past honorably. They don't say anything back the same way. In fact, when they used to say, when they used to say that to Prophet ﷺ, they say Assalamu alaikum, not Assalamu alaikum. They used to say Assalamu alaikum, which means death be upon you. Na'udhu billah. They used to say that. Hazrat Aisha got in an uproar. How can they say that to my beloved? And she wanted to say something back to them in return, but Prophet ﷺ stopped her. Somebody saying death be upon you, and she stopped her and saying, look at the angels, what they're saying back to them. Prophet ﷺ remained calm. So when we walk past vain talk, waste of time, anything, we walk past with dignity, we keep our dignity. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ. When it comes to zakat, they're always giving the zakat. Zakat comes from the word zakka, tazkiyah, which means to purify. It does two things, zakat. First and foremost, tazkiyatul mal, it purifies your wealth. You keep accumulating wealth, you get greedy. You keep accumulating wealth, or you have a constant desire for wealth, then you're going to get greedy. So when Allah established zakat, to take that greed, make sure greed doesn't climb up in your heart and it doesn't fill you. And that's natural as well. Allah, we understand from hadith that if son of Adam alayhi salam was to have a valley full of gold, wealth, he'd ask for another. If he was to have that one too, he'd ask for more. There's no end to greed when it comes to wealth. So one of the biggest fitna, in fact, the most biggest tribulation of our generation, of our ummah, mal, wealth. You get the opportunity, you see how your mind can change, you see how shaitan can take advantage of you when it comes to wealth. But no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has established zakat. This wealth is not all yours, it deserves, a part of it belongs to the poor people, the people that deserve it. Zakat, when it comes to zakat, the fa'ilun mean they give it, they do it. They don't hold back, they want to do it. That's how believers are when it comes to zakat. They want to help them establish this quality. And tazkiyatul mal, cleans your wealth. Don't hold on to your wealth. One of the qualities as a Muslim you should never do. Gain what is your necessity. After you gain your necessity, you have everything you need to do. You got your food in your house, you're paying your bills, everything. Okay, and then you have a little bit to be safe. You got your necessity. Don't chase wealth. A common figure that a lot of children look up to is Khabib Nur Magomedov. Everyone looks up to Khabib. And he mentions, he left fighting and everything. He mentioned that I don't think it's correct anymore. He's a very prominent fighter. But he left all, and he's talking about wealth. You get a lot of wealth from these competitions, etc. He mentions that when it comes to wealth, have it in your hand, but don't have it in your heart. Have it in your hand, but don't have it in your heart. It destroys you. Wealth, leave it. You leave your brain and heart. So you leave your heart in with wealth, and you keep on chasing wealth, it'll consume you. Prophet ﷺ rejected that for that very reason. He had the entirety in his hands. Allah Ta'ala would have given him the entirety. Trust me, the entirety. More than any person he would have had. He said no to that, because it comes with a price. And even when he did have it, he'd give it. And then, for example, in Ramadan, Prophet ﷺ was known to be the most generous, ajwadun nas, in Ramadan. He used to be the most generous. Meaning he had something to give. But when he did have it, he'd give it away. And what's even more astonishing is, iftar time in Ramadan, what the Prophet ﷺ used to have, some rutab, a few dates. If that wasn't there, فَإِلَّمْ تَجِدْهَا, then if you never found that, what we have some tamarat, some dates as well, but different type of rutab and tamarat dates, fresh and non-fresh dates, dried dates, different. If you didn't have that, what would you do? Hasab al-hasawat min al-ma', you'll have a couple of sips and gulps of water, that's it. At that time, it was the same thing in Ramadan. People would have the same kind of thought towards food. Everybody would look towards for the food. Prophet ﷺ said, no, look what. He gave an example. And it's not that he didn't have the ability to get all that food, because he was al-ajwad al-nas, he used to be the most generous, but he used to give it. So when it comes to giving charity, when it comes to zakat, the fa'ilun, they give it, they do it a lot. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ, and the following 3 verses is regarding those who protect their private parts. They keep their gaze low. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions to keep your gaze low. It's saying keeping your gaze low is a very simple command, but it's so vast in its meaning. It's referring to keeping. When the Sahaba asked the Prophet about the rights of the street, one of the things that he mentioned was when you walk on the road, keep your eyes down. Allah Ta'ala talks about the quality of the believers. يَغُضُّونَ أَبْصَارَهُم, they lower their eyes. وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ, and even the believing women, Allah told them to lower their eyes. First and foremost is a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The wisdom behind it we understand later. That's the first thing we do. The more and more you are open to seeing, the more your nafs is overtaken by shaitan. Shaitan, if you do not see it, the value of hijab and all of these, the value of it, that what you cannot see, shaitan cannot trick you with or play your mind against. Keeping your eyes down is an indication to protecting yourself when it comes to protecting your private parts. Prophet ﷺ mentioned that those who can give me a promise, a firm resolution that they can control their private parts, but that which is between, the lahiyayn, between their jaws, and that which is between their thighs, meaning their private parts, then adman lahul Jannah, I will give them a promise, a firm resolution that they will be in Jannah. So those who protect their private parts, they don't just disrespect, their control of themselves and their desires. They keep their eyes down on the road. They keep safe from looking at things. Very dangerous nowadays because everything is available, even if you do not want to see it. Everything is open to us. In schools you are programmed in a certain way. You see it everywhere. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a very simple command. Keep your eyes down, meaning refrain from seeing these kind of things, because as time accumulates, as time goes, it accumulates, and shaitan will take advantage of it. Pious people in the past have fallen into the same thing. Stay away from excessively looking up to opposite gender, or even trying to get the opportunity to talk to them in the wrong way. If you feel yourself going to communicate in the wrong way, stay away entirely. Stay away from places where this makes it easier. Shaitan will take advantage. This beautification is a habayl of shaitan. It's a net of shaitan. He uses that quite commonly. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, there's only a few verses inshallah, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِأَمَانَاتِهِمْ وَعَهْدِهِمْ رَاعُونَ. When it comes to your covenants, believers are those successful believers are those who, when it comes to their amana, their trust that they have, and their covenants, the agreements that they make between people, they're wary of it. They take care of it. Prophet ﷺ was known as Sadiq al-Amin, as truthful and Amin, trustworthy in his time. He used to take care of the people who used to have belongings they used to give to him, because there was no such thing as safes or banks or anything in their homes. Homes are just open. How we have nice, shut windows, double glazed doors are locked. None of that. It's just clay homes and then some curtain for the door. Is that really? It's not really safe, is it? Anybody can enter, leave their stuff. So people used to live with people, protect their belongings. Prophet ﷺ used to do that for everybody and anybody, and he used to keep it really safe. He used to be really wary of it. So believers are those who keep their amana and their agreements. If you make any sort of agreements with people, you keep it. Don't fall back on your word. Even the most simplest amount of agreements that you make. Today, we'll go meet up in the masjid, for example, and you drop out. Very simple things, small things, but these will climb up and pile up. Don't ever go back on your word as a person. If you give an agreement to somebody, fulfill it. The munafiqun, the pious, the hypocrites, when they used to talk to the pious people and the Sahaba, when it comes to the time of war, they said, we'll give you our aid and our support. When it came to the time of war, what they did, they gave the agreement. The people trusted them, the Sahaba trusted them. When it came to war, right in front of the people, the enemy, what happened? They ran away. Imagine leaving you in the midst of battle, leaving you in numbers like that. So believers who keep their amana, their trust and their agreements. Prophet ﷺ, Hazrat Anas bin Malik, he mentioned the Prophet ﷺ that very less would he say, La iman, meaning a person does not have no iman except. He never used to say this line quite a lot. But what did he say, Prophet ﷺ say? La iman liman la amanat. That there is no iman for a person, for that person who does not uphold his trusts. No iman. Prophet ﷺ never used to say that. And he said it for this. Meaning, la iman kamil, meaning you're pure. There's no pure iman for a person who does not uphold their amana, their trusts. In fact, even when he was being persecuted, he had been chased out, it was an attempt of assassination. In his home, he left Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu in his place before escaping. And all the trusts that he had from people, he told Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu to still give it out, because he still valued that amana, still trust. At the time when they still tried to assassinate him, he gave the trust back to people because it wasn't his. He valued that trust. So, la iman illa la amanat. So there is no iman for a person who does not uphold their trusts. Pure iman, full convict iman, with conviction. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَوَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ, and those successful ones, those who are protected of their salah, they pray the salah on time, they do not miss a single salah, they pray the salah on time. Just like the first quality was khushu in salah, this one's, they are consistent and persistent with the salah, they do not miss a single salah. The difference between a salah, the difference between shirk and kufr is salah. The difference between us as a mu'min, a believer, and an unbeliever is salah. That's how important salah is. Hasten towards the salah. From very young age, Prophet ﷺ established salah. He teaches the 7 years old salah. At the time of 10, they start doing it. They're not going to understand what salah is. Kids don't understand what salah is. For them, it's just saying a few things, going up and down. And that's exactly what they do. Even when you witness kids, that's what they do in salah. They're not going to understand what it is. But because of the value of it, the important value of it, initiate it first through Allah Ta'ala's command, and Allah gives you wisdom after. That's what happens. Watch it unfold. Get someone to pray first. And that's how it's established in the Sunnah. Get them to pray first. Don't worry about the wisdom, that will come afterwards. Inshallah. But establish a never leave salah. Work, circulate everything, centralize every single thing in your life around salah. Whether it's your work, whether it's your playtime, your time with your friends, your family life, work it around salah. Do everything for salah. Put your salah in place. The scholars say that when you pass away, obviously, one of the first questions you have is regarding your salah. How did you establish salah? How did you do hifz of your salah? And then, if you were to answer that question, then things go with ease. Things go with ease. And the scholars say, in a similar manner, if you can establish your salah in this world, then things go with ease and fall in place in this world. That's the value of salah. Never miss out a salah. Once you start missing out salah, then things start falling out of place in your life. It's the best dhikr you can do of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُم. Do not become like the people who تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ, they have forgotten Allah فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُم, and Allah made them forget themselves. Okay, don't drop salah. There's one thing essential to the believer. There's absolutely no excuse for leaving a salah. So the hafidun of the salah, they protect their salah. And this is the 10th verse. أولئك هم الوارثون. They are the inheritors. أولئك هم الوارثون. They are the inheritors. Inheritors of what Allah Ta'ala mentions. And just like Prophet ﷺ mentions that those who are part of these 10 verses, everything that I mentioned, those who establish these qualities, those who are part of these qualities, دخل الجنة, they will enter Jannah. But not only Jannah, what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? أولئك هم الوارثون. They are the inheritors of what? الذين يرثون الفردوس. They will inherit Firdaus, the highest of Jannah. Firdaus is the highest quality of Jannah. There are levels of Jannah, and they have different things, and different qualities, different amenities to enjoy. All different quality. People of higher Jannahs can enjoy anything below, but people below cannot do above. It's not the same. But Firdaus is the highest. If you ask for Jannah, Prophet mentioned, if you ask for Jannah, ask for Firdaus. Allah will give it to you. It does not decrease in Allah's power at all to give everybody Jannah to Firdaus. But that is dependent on every individual, how you work towards your life. But ask for Firdaus. Never think that I'm not worthy of anything. No. Prophet said, if you ask for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ask for Firdaus. Ask for Jannah to Firdaus. That is what you inherit if you're part of these 10 verses. Just like Prophet mentioned. That is the eternal aim of the Akhirah. To enter into these places. And these are one of the ways. In summary, inshallah, and Allah Ta'ala grants us the ability to establish these. It's a very, it's one that you have to invest yourself in this world. You will be successful. Allah Ta'ala mentions, you are successful. Verily the believer is successful. In summary, those who have khushu in their salah, utmost concentration. Those who stay away from vanity, vain, futile, waste of time things. No value. Swearing and foul talk, they stay away from all those kind of things. Music and loud play, they stay away from all those kind of things. Things that have no value in Islam. من حسن إسلام المرء تركه ما لا يعنيه. From the beautification of من حسن إسلام, from the value or the beauty of a person's Islam is that they leave that which is not, ما لا يعنيه, meaning it doesn't have any value. Things like that, waste of time. Believers leave that. And when it comes to, again, you fulfill your zakat, you protect your private parts, and you protect your covenants and your trusts, and you are. You got the keys? Jess got the keys.